Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. There's some breaking news coming out of South Africa, my friends. Breaking news. The United States of America has threatened to close its embassy in South Africa. Yes, you heard me right. Breaking news. The United States of America has threatened to close its U.S. embassy in South Africa. The chaos between South Africa and the United States America continues, my friends. When will it end? We don't know. But in this video, I will explain to you this breaking story coming out of South Africa. What is happening? What is happening, my friends, is that the U.S. ambassador to South Africa has threatened to close the United States of America's embassy in South Africa over a street naming. Yes, a street naming. South African government wants to rename a street in Santon Drive, that area, that very well-developed area in Johannesburg. They wanted to rename a street from Santon Drive to a name that I will let you know what the name is in a moment, Khalid. But the name is by the name of a Palestinian whose name is Khalid, and that Palestinian was in a hijacking in 1968, and he demanded during that hijacking, it's a woman, and she demanded that the hostages be released from Israel, the Palestinian hostages be released from Israel. During that time, Israel and Palestine has been fighting for many years. So Israel had some hostages hold up in Israel, and this Palestinian woman hijacked a plane. I think that plane was heading from France, I am told, to America. And during that time, that hijacker demanded that the hostages be released. Now the name is being oh, these dogs are disturbing my presentation, but let's see if we can continue through this noise coming from around. Some dogs are fighting again. A strange dog came into my yard, and my dogs in my yard are barking at them. So, my friends, let's continue. Because this is beyond uncut. Whether it's rain, noise from dogs, whatever it is, we continue this video as it is, beyond uncut, my friends. So, I was saying that the United States of America is very upset. Very, very upset, because the South African government has said that it will rename that street. And I will read to you something that I put together here, my friends, and let you know exactly what is happening in South Africa. The United States, the USA, threatens to close its embassy in South Africa. Recent developments have heightened tensions between the United States of America and South Africa, particularly concerning potential closure of the U.S. consulate in Johannesburg. Joel Pollack, a senior editor at Breitbart and the leading candidate for the U.S. ambassador to South Africa, has warned that the consulate may be shut down in the city of Johannesburg proceeds with plans the city of Johannesburg proceeds with plans to rename Santon Drive to Leila Khaled. drive. Layla Khalid is known for her involvement in the 1969 hijacking of a U.S. airline. Pollack emphasized that such a renaming would force the U.S. consulate to display the name of a Palestinian militant on its letterhead, a move deemed unacceptable by U.S. officials. This controversy arises amidst already strained diplomatic relations. The recent expulsion of South African Ambassador Ibrahim Rasool from Washington has further exacerbated tensions. I did a video about the expulsion of US Ambassador when Elon Musk came out, and not Elon Musk, Marco Rubio came out and in a Twitter post asked him to leave the United States immediately and named him persona non grata. That means he's not welcome in the United States anymore. I did a video about that. Make sure to go back and check out that video if you want more details on it. Rasool, the ambassador, the South African ambassador to the US, was expelled by the US. Why was he expelled? Rasool had criticized Donald Trump's administration, accusing it of promoting white supremacist ideologies, leading U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio to declare him persona non grata. Additionally, President Trump's executive order to suspend aid from South Africa, citing alleged racial discrimination against white Afrikaners, has added to the diplomatic strain. This move has been perceived by some as interference in South Africa's domestic policies. The proposed street renaming has garnered support from factions within Johannesburg City Council, including the African National Congress, the ANC, and the Economic Freedom Fighters, the EFF. However, opposition parties and various community groups have raised objections, highlighting the potential diplomatic repercussions. These incidents collectively contribute to a complex and evolving diplomatic landscape between the US and South Africa, with potential implications for future bilateral relations. Yes, my friends, this is what is happening in South Africa at the moment. South Africa wants to rename a street. They want to rename the street Layla Khalid, who is a Palestinian martyr who hijacked a US airline in 1969. The United States is saying if South Africa renames that street after the Palestinian martyr, they will be forced to have her name on letterheads every time an official document is sent, and this is unacceptable for the United States of America to accept. So they are threatening to close the US embassy in South Africa if South Africa proceeds with the renaming of the street. Will South Africa proceed with the renaming of the street? I don't know. Time will tell. Comment in this comment section and let us know what you think. Will South Africa proceed with the renaming of the street? Will they pull back and leave it as it is? Will the United States of America leave South Africa if they proceed with the renaming of the street? Let me know. Comment your thoughts and let me know what you think about this topic. If you're watching for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. The mission of my channel is to bridge that gap between the African continent and the African diaspora. I post videos every day on breaking news that affect the African diaspora and the African continent. The African diaspora is the Caribbean nation islands, African Americans, Afro-Canadians, Africans in Europe, the UK, South America, Brazil, Colombia down there, and Africans in the continent living in the great continent of Africa, 54 massive countries, including South Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Botswana, Gabon, Sierra Leone, the Gambia, Senegal, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali. And I can go on and on and on and on, my friends. But the African continent and the African diaspora is huge. And that is my mission, to bridge that gap between our two nations, bringing our people ever closer together. So if you like this video and you're watching for the first time, let me know where you're watching from. And if you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? It's easy, it's free, and it will help support this journey of bridging the gap between the African continent and the African diaspora. So if this is something that you are interested in, please consider subscribing to my channel. Some people show support by leaving a donation in the comment section, super chats. Some people subscribe, some people like, share, comment, whatever you can. I greatly appreciate whatever it is. All support is greatly appreciated, my friends. Let me know what you think about this topic about the United States of America threatening to close its U.S. embassy in South Africa over the renaming of a street from Santon Drive to Leila Khalid Drive. Leila Khalid is a Palestinian martyr who hijacked a U.S. plane in 1969 in exchange for the release of some Palestinian hostages that was being held. Now, the U.S. ambassador, strangely, is an American, but he is an Israeli American. He has Israel roots. He has Israel family members, but he was raised in America. So you see why this has really upset him. And to rename that street after a Palestinian, he doesn't like that at all. They hate each other so much. But this is South Africa. South Africa should be able to do what they want without outside interference. South Africa is a sovereign state. The Republic of South Africa is a sovereign state. And South Africa can do whatever they want in the Republic of South Africa. They don't have to listen to America. They don't have to listen to Europe. They don't have to listen to Canada. They don't have to listen to New Zealand, Australia. I don't care who you are. South Africa do not have to listen to any of you. So the arrogance of the United States of America, they would have expelled a South African ambassador. Now they're in South Africa threatening to close an embassy. If they close the embassy, who will be losing? America will be losing, of course, because we know all countries around the world would love to be in South Africa. So that office space will be occupied by another country if America leaves South Africa. The dogs are barking again, my friends, and it's about time for me to end this video today. But please come back tomorrow in my next episode of my next video. Tomorrow I post videos every day, and you can become a channel member and support the journey of bridging the gap between the African continent and the African diaspora by clicking the link in this description box and joining the channel. You can go on over to my next channel. The link is here in the description box. I have a travel channel. Go on over and subscribe to that channel, my friends, and I'll see you again in the next video while the dogs continue to bark and have fun. I was making a joke this morning that sometimes I look at animals and a lot of dogs around living better than human beings. They get free food, they run around all day, and they live happily ever after. So some dogs are living better, having more fun than us humans. Imagine that. So that is a thought to leave you with, my friends. Thank you for watching this video, and of course I will see you again tomorrow in the next video. This is Beyond Uncut, signing out from the beautiful Caribbean African diaspora. Bye-bye.